Welcome MOTU fans to another Third Earth Reviews toy review, and today I will be reviewing the brand new Club Grayskull Filmation style Teela from Super 7. So let's start by taking a look at our packaging. We have the same Castle Grayskull themed open window packaging that we've seen with all of the Filmation style figures. The figure is revealed once the slip cover is removed. This style of packaging is great for mint in box collectors, as there is a handful of little windows to allow some light to shine in on the figure. On the back of the box, we have an image of our character in the classic Filmation style, standing before Castle Grayskull, as well as a short bio. Opening the box, Teela comes in a clear plastic case with a cardboard background. Once the figure is removed from the plastic casing, we can see all of the sculpted and painted details. Sadly, out of all of my figures, Teela is my worst by far. Overall, the white paint on this figure is not very good. I have quite a few reddish-orange stains on the white of her boots, so I'm not sure the red coloring is bleeding through or not. By just putting on and taking off her shield, it has left a red stain on her arm bracer. I also have a red dot on her nose, as well as some strange smudges that look almost like dirt on her legs. The overall sculpt for the armor is not well done on my figure either. The back of the armor has a very rough edge, and the front tassel of her armor doesn't hang down straight. I might be able to fix this by resetting it with some heat, and I'll have to look into that at a later time. And unfortunately, my Teela has the bad hips, or at least one bad hip. Super 7 did mention that some of their figures would still have the longer pins, which would make their legs and hips not connect correctly. While you don't really notice it too badly when she's in a battle pose, it's still a huge disappointment since this was one of the major quality control issues that delayed the figures several months, and it still wasn't fixed. It should also be noted that due to the longer pins, she does have some trouble standing depending on what kind of pose you're trying to do. I'm not sure how I feel about this figure. I was very excited about its release when it was first announced last year at the New York Toy Fair, but having it in hand leaves me with a sense of disappointment. I love the original Filmation cartoon, but I'm not sure that this figure and all of its flaws really give the character justice, especially since there are so many other great Teela figures that have been released. Teela has similar articulation as most of the MOTU classic figures. She can look left and right just fine, but doesn't look up and down very well. Teela has a standard ball-like joints for her shoulders, so her arms can move forwards, backwards, and out to the side. There are swivels at the biceps, standard bends at the elbows, and rotation bends at the wrists. Teela does not have the standard twistable waist nor the ab crunch. Instead, she has a ball-like joint at her chest, which allows her torso to twist side to side, as well as have a slight movement forwards and backwards. It should be noted that there is some limited movement in Teela's legs. I'm not sure if it's due to the different size pins, or if it's just the sculpt of her bodysuit or not, but I do have a hard time moving her legs forwards or backwards, and I cannot get her legs to rotate at the hips. This is just something to keep in mind if you're interested in getting one of these figures for yourself. She has the standard bends at the knees, swivels at the boots, and her ankles can bend forwards, backwards, and rock side to side. Teela comes with two different accessories, which are a standard sword and shield. The sword is made of a solid gray plastic, while the shield is made up of a dark brick red plastic. One nice feature for the shield is that there are two different size clasps that allow the shield to have a better fit on the figure's arm, so it doesn't fall off nearly as often. On the other hand, I am not too impressed with the sword. There aren't any nice sculpted or painted details like we saw with Tri-Klops' sword, and the overall seam is very roughly done. Teela is part of Wave 1 of the Super 7 Club Grayskull Filmation style figures. Unfortunately, these figures were made to order, so if you are interested in getting one of these figures for yourself, you'll have to go to other online stores such as Big Bad Toy Store or secondary markets such as eBay. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to hit that like button and subscribe so you can check out all my other reviews. I will have the last Club Grayskull figure up tomorrow, so until then, this has been Third Earth Reviews.